welcome to our channel. Today we're exploring the fascinating history of Port Royal and Jamaica. From its rise as a pirate haven in the 17th century to its present-day resurgence, this video will dive deep into the cultural, social, and historical transformations of this beautiful island. The birth of Port Royal, a pirate's paradise. Port Royal, located at the mouth of the Kingston Harbor in Jamaica, was founded in the late 17th century and quickly grew into one of the Caribbean's most important cities. Established by the English in 1655, it became a bustling port and a strategic military outpost. Its location made it ideal for trade routes between Europe, Africa, and the Americas, but it also attracted pirates and privateers. These sea marauders, who targeted Spanish vessels, made Port Royal their base of operations. The town became infamous for its lawlessness and wealth, with pirates spending their plunder on lavish living. It was a city of excess, filled with rum, gambling, and opulence, earning it the reputation as the wickedest city on earth. Port Royal was more than just a pirate haven. It was a place where fortune and danger coexisted, making it one of the most exciting and notorious towns in history. The golden age of piracy. Port Royal thrived as a central hub for pirates and privateers, particularly during the golden age of piracy. This period, roughly spanning from the 1650 to the early 1700s, saw notorious pirates like Henry Morgan, Blackbeard, and Calico Jack Rackham make their mark in the Caribbean. These pirates, often sanctioned by European governments, would raid Spanish treasure fleets, bringing back enormous wealth to Port Royal. The city became a playground for these outlaws, offering a place to rest, spend their loot, and plan their next adventures. It was a time of excess, with pirates indulging in lavish parties, gambling, and drinking rum. With its bustling docks, rich merchants, and rowdy taverns, Port Royal epitomized the freewheeling, lawless life of piracy. During this time, the city was both a sanctuary for pirates and a thriving commercial center in the Caribbean. The 1692 earthquake, Port Royal's fall. On June 7, 1692, disaster struck Port Royal. A powerful earthquake struck the city, causing it to sink into the sea, with large sections of the town disappearing beneath the waves. The earthquake was followed by a tsunami, which compounded the destruction. This catastrophe devastated Port Royal, killing thousands and leaving the once prosperous city in ruins. The earthquake marked the end of Port Royal's infamous status as a pirate haven. The town had been a symbol of wealth, lawlessness, and excess, but the disaster forever changed its fate. Today, much of Port Royal lies underwater, with only a small portion of the town remaining above sea level. The ruins, however, serve as a historical reminder of both the wealth and destruction that characterized Port Royal during its golden age. Jamaica under British rule, 1700 to the early 1800s. Following the earthquake and the decline of Port Royal, Jamaica's history moved into a new chapter under British colonial rule. 1700, Jamaica became a major sugar-producing colony, heavily dependent on the labor of enslaved Africans brought to the island. The sugar plantations that spread across Jamaica fueled the British Empire's wealth, making the island one of the richest in the Caribbean. During this period, the island's economy was based on the brutal exploitation of enslaved people, who worked on sugar, rum, and coffee plantations. Despite the inhumane conditions, enslaved people resisted in many ways, from outright revolts to everyday acts of defiance. Jamaica's colonial period was marked by both prosperity for the British and immense suffering for the enslaved population. In the early 1800s, the island also began to see growing abolitionist movements that would eventually lead to the end of slavery in the British Empire. The Maroon Wars and resistance movements. During the 17th and 18th centuries, enslaved Africans who had escaped plantations in Jamaica formed independent communities, known as Maroons, in the island's interior. The Maroons were fierce fighters and posed a significant threat. In the 1720s, the British launched military campaigns against the Maroons in an attempt to control their territories. This led to the Maroon Wars, a series of confrontations between the British and the Maroons. Despite being outnumbered, the Maroons used their knowledge of the terrain and guerrilla tactics to outsmart the British forces. In 1739, the British were forced to sign a peace treaty with the Maroons, granting them autonomy in exchange for peace. The Maroon Wars are a testament to the resilience and resistance of the enslaved people in Jamaica and their fight for freedom. Jamaica's role in the abolition of slavery. Jamaica played a significant role in the abolition of slavery in the British Empire. Throughout the early 19th century, the island saw growing movements against slavery, led by both free blacks and enslaved people. The Baptist War of 183–11832, led by Samuel Sharp, was one of the largest slave revolts in Jamaica and a key moment in the abolition struggle. While the revolt was violently suppressed, it drew attention to the inhumanity of slavery and played a part in the growing momentum for change. In 1834, slavery was officially abolished in the British colonies, but the journey towards freedom and equality in Jamaica was far from over. The legacy of slavery shaped the island's social, economic, and political landscape, and the fight for justice continued long after emancipation. Post-colonial Jamaica, Independence and Growth, 1962 onwards. In 1962, Jamaica gained independence from Britain, marking a new era for the island. While Jamaica was free from colonial rule, it faced numerous challenges, including economic instability, social inequality, and political unrest. Despite these challenges, the island began to grow culturally and economically. One of the most significant cultural movements to emerge from Jamaica was reggae music, which gained global recognition through artists like Bob Marley. Reggae became a symbol of Jamaican identity and resistance, with messages of peace, unity, and social justice. Politically, Jamaica became a democratic republic with a focus on building a more equitable society. Over the years, the country has made strides in education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Though challenges remain, today Jamaica is known worldwide for its music, culture, and beautiful landscapes, while continuing to grapple with issues stemming from its colonial past. Port Royal's modern resurgence. Although Port Royal had fallen into obscurity following the 1692 earthquake, in recent years the town has been undergoing a remarkable transformation. Archaeological excavations have uncovered treasure troves of historical artifacts, shedding light on the daily life of the pirates, merchants, and settlers who once called the town home. Port Royal is being revitalized as a historical and cultural tourism destination, with efforts to preserve its historical sites and attract visitors interested in its rich yet tumultuous past. Museums and visitor centers now stand where pirates once roamed, offering a glimpse into the city's golden age. These efforts aim to showcase the history of Port Royal not just as a pirate haven, but as a pivotal location in the broader history of Jamaica. As Port Royal re-emerges as a tourist hotspot, it serves as a reminder of the island's resilience and ability to overcome even the most catastrophic events. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed learning about the history of Port Royal and Jamaica. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more exciting historical journeys. See you in the next video.